Sunshine Wild Ones, it's Bernadette. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Superstar Tuesday, November 10th, 2020. And the reason that today is Superstar Tuesday is because Flamingo has flown in as the Two of Wands, and I love this card. This card, this spirit animal, this Two of Wands, this is for anybody who has ever felt or is currently feeling underestimated. And that's a lot of y'all out there. I find over the years, a lot of people feel very underestimated, mostly by themselves. They underestimate themselves. So this is the perfect card for you. So if you take a look at the traditional meaning of the Two of Wands, now remember, wands can be fire or air. In this particular, for instance, I tend to think of it, this message as being fire because of the hot pink color that flamingos can be. But we are going to get into the difference in coloration of flamingos and what message that means for you as a, when you consider flamingo meanings as your spirit totem and power animal. So I use my own award-winning Arc Animal Tarot deck, and it is based on Rider-Waite, and then of course has all the, shamanic yumminess with all the spirit totem and power animals. But when you take a look at the traditional meaning of the Two of Wands, yes, it is a balancing act, but take a look a little more closely into the symbolism that's on the actual card. When you see, it's kind of a conundrum, but not really, right? That's the balancing act. Is it, isn't it? So take a look at the wands. One of them is firmly attached to the battlement, and the other one he's holding in his left hand. So that's going to mean that part of something that you're planning, because this is a card about the future. That future could be this afternoon. That future could be 3 years from now. It just really depends on what other cards are going in that you see in the reading, or if you are or you're working with an intuitive tarot reader, they might can psych out, or you might can psych out for yourself on what the timing is. But this is a card that's really important to know that in the moment, your future success is already written. You may not know what it's written for or about yet, but when you do dream that dream, you will be successful at it, whatever success means to you. I want to call really close attention to the cross. Look on the lower left side of the card. And that cross is also perfectly balanced with lilies and roses. Now, lilies symbolize the need to be free, the need, and in particular, to be free from desire. Like me, I always tell you guys I'm a workaholic, and one day, I guess I'll want to be free. But I interpret it as I really am free, because I am doing what I want to do. The reason that I bring that up is, sometimes we can be involved in a relationship or a job, or a business that we want to create, a career, that kind of thing, and we can think that we are a little too attached to it. But remember, in the Arc deck, this card, the flamingo, is pink. So it really today is about you understanding, or maybe taking a step back, or maybe you have to reset and remember why you do what you do, or why you want to do what you do, because it's all coming from a place of love. Remember, in color meanings, all the hues of pink and all the hues of red really correspond to love of all kinds. Any kind of love that you can think of, it corresponds to that. So as you're thinking about this thing that you want to do, or relationship you want to have, anything in the future, realize that the roses on that cross that's perfectly balanced, they represent a hunger, like this insatiable hunger for knowledge and experience. And I find that when you are wanting to create something, I've owned my own business for, today it seems like 1,000 years, but so many business owners that I've talked to, they they get to opening day, pardon me, or they reach some kind of milestone that they've set for themselves, however many followers on YouTube, how much money you're bringing in a month, or, buying a house, whatever it is. And they all tell me that really it was kind of anticlimactic because it was the journey that they really loved the most. And by the time they got, by the time they got to where they wanted to go, they were happy with it for like that long. And then they were on to something else because the thrill of the chase. So that thrill of that chase can be, man, it can be exciting. And when you take a look at Flamingo as, correlating to the Two of Wands, yes, of course, it's easy to understand that, flamingos will balance on one leg and, their legs are a different color than their feathers, than their pink feathers. But there's a hidden gem with, and bring up the different colors because also flamingo is a conundrum. And what that means is we think of black as a power color, and we don't think of pink as a power color when you look at the traditional meanings of, color meanings. But I find that everything that's done with love, however much love you can muster, always has a more powerful impact than showing up in a black suit or a black dress, or walking into an office that's all austere and gray tones and blacks and all of, rah, 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 I'm a powerful person. Or people that wear black all the time. Believe me, I did for a really long time. I I bought into the, when I cared about what size I was, I wore black a lot. And when I cared that, you know, I wanted people to see me in the black power suit when I worked in Hollywood, please, whatever. I wish somebody had slapped me upside the dang head. But the conundrum there and the hidden gem that I started to mention earlier is you can't see it when they're just standing there. But flamingos aren't, all of their feathers are not pink. When they fly, you can see the black tips of their feathers. So the reason that I say that flamingo as the Two of Wands is very specifically for people who have felt, think they might feel, or are feeling underestimated, because now you've got the power of two. Remember, when two things come together in numerology, right? The number two, numerology meanings, you start to build something greater than yourself. You start to multiply, you start to add. Everything starts to add up and just get more and more and more abundant, really. And and so now you've got the power, you've got the energy, you've got the medicine of everything that comes from the deepest, purest place of love. And you've got the traditional, I am the all powerful Oz. And we see how powerful he really turned out to be. But when you add those two together and you think about the black being under the wings, if you're underestimated, now's your time to move. Oh, yeah, because they'll never see you coming. And that's tactic number one. Never let them see you coming, right? So, also with Flamingo, I find that I get very focused on their webbed feet when I pull this card for somebody in a reading, or like if I'm doing a spirit animal journey for somebody and, through my shamanic practice, and I see flamingo come up. Yes, it's very easy to know that a universal, kind of symbolism and meaning for all winged things is to fly, right? Get the wind up under your wings and fly. And if they're birds or really any animal of any bright color, then it's all about shining your colors, showing your true colors. But oh, I love this card. I really, really, really do. So flamingos eat. They're able to eat by digging, mucking up the waters, by getting the waters churning. And then they sift through it with their beaks, and they get their shrimp or their mollusks or whatever they're getting, which, by the way, is where they get their pink color. And it's always a call for me that, yes, Of course, it's time to show your colors. Of course, it's time to shine as brightly as you want to shine because you are a superstar. But you may have to churn the waters a bit. You may have to rake up the muck that's under there and not be afraid to muddy the waters or step in dirty water or get your hands dirty. I don't mean in a negative way, right? I mean in the most positive way. Roll up your shirt sleeves. And even if there are haters out there who are because of your success, or there are people that want to block you for whatever reason, Flamingo won't let that happen. But realize that again, you might have to darken those waters a little bit by churning up. And that really comes to self. Anytime we're talking about anything having to do with love, I always encourage people to start with self love first. It sounds very trite, and it sounds like something any reader or shamanic person could say. Certainly, that's the first thing people go to when they want to give you advice. And I'm not really giving you advice, I'm giving you a reading, right? But it really is true because you can't I you can do whatever you want. But it has not been my experience, like 50,000, 60,000 readings by now, y'all. It has not been my experience that if you ask somebody to truly tell you three things, just three things that they absolutely love about themselves, they'll come out with like the first thing that comes to their head. I like my nose. I think I'm a nice person. But that's not digging quite as deeply as they could. And if they did, they would find that they may not even love those things. They may like them. They may think they're their best features or best part of their personality, but liking and loving, those are two very different things. So Flamingo encourages you to find your balance with that and to know that you can stand not only on your own two really skinny legs, because, you know, they're about that big, y'all, flamingo legs. I live in Florida. If I've seen one flamingo, I've seen 90 billion of them. And they're beautiful every time, especially when they move in that herd synchronicity, well, flock synchronicity. I just love to watch them. But you can do that. And if you need to stand on one skinny leg, okay, because for as tall as they are, flamingos can get to be 5 feet tall. They're very tall birds. They only weigh like 6 to 8 pounds. It's amazing they don't get blown away in the wind when they fly, as high as they fly and as long as they fly. But they're able to do that. And along with everything else that Flamingo is bringing to you today and Two of Wands is bringing to you today is no matter how light you think you are, okay, and I mean light, like maybe you don't think you have enough skills or you don't have enough smarts or you don't have enough this or you don't have enough that. Stop not enoughing yourself. You've got it. And Flamingo can teach you, can show you the way how that you can realize that and then never let them see you coming. It's a sneak attack, right? And you go out and you build whatever you want, whenever you want. So if you are wanting to call on Flamingo as your spirit animal, everything and more can be true for that. If you happen to see flamingos start showing up, if you happen to see them in your dreams, that is a call for you to take a look again that you've got this, but in a deeper way than I say you've got this a lot. I know I do. But there's you've got this and like you got this. And today it's you got this. If flamingo is your totem animal, man, you're passionate. All that pink color, all that red color they don't ever really get red. They get this vibrant pink, which makes them perfect for a Tuesday, where the sacral chakra is orange, because the orange you see that the man is wearing in the Two of Wands and the red he's wearing. So orange and red, that fiery passion that's deep, in the lower pit of your belly. And then, of course, today's is Mars energy. And that's that really aggressive, get it done, get it done, get it done. Just remember, though, when you're getting it done or you're making your future plans, balance it all out. Make sure that you are taking a balanced look at things and a balanced approach, which could mean seeing things from another person's perspective. I've had a lot of people tell me that with all the pandemic and having to use Zoom a lot, even when they're doing company meetings via Zoom, the sheer volume of just air traffic control problems of communication, which I think is due to lack of concentration or lack of focus. It's easy for me. I've been working out of my home and for myself for a billion years. But for a lot of people, they can't stop listening for their kids doing homework in the other room, or they can't, if they're facing a window, they can't help but, do this. So when it comes to the passion, when it comes to making your future plans, if Flamingo is your totem animal, you've got all that balanced out, and good for you, because your group is going to need you. Your flock is going to need you. At this point, it probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, that anytime you see animals move in flocks, herds, give it whatever name it is, that social things, community things are very important to them. Because think of how tiny and fragile the actual stature, they might be tall, like super tall, but they're really fragile and really tiny birds when push comes to shove. Flamingos are. So think about what it takes for them to feel safe, for them to feel protected, and that is for everybody to pitch in and help everybody else, right? And you might have to consider that. Now, if Flamingo is your power animal, it really is time for you to step up and be seen. And that can be for many, many, many reasons. Let's say that it's just your time. You guys, I've been doing What is My Spirit Animal in the ARC, for years. And I think What is My Spirit Animal is the website has been up for like 6 or 7 years. And oh my gosh, people begged me to do video, and I was like, oh. But finally I did. And I rediscovered a passion, which is I started out in entertainment and worked in entertainment for forever, but I started out as an actor in a comic. So it helped me rediscover. If you want to rediscover who you really are, like the star part of you, what are you really excellent at, and what do you really love? Flamingo is a tremendous energy to call on, or to unite your own spirit with Flamingo. Also, yes, it is about, Flamingo is certainly about shining your light, but let's be really clear about that. Shining your light, stepping up, being the superstar might mean that you've got to, clearly you would do it from a place of love, like deep, deep, deep love. And you can gauge, let me finish that thought, just coming from a place of deep love. And you can shine the light. It might mean that you need to shine the light or step up and be the superstar of your own life by saving yourself or saving someone else. Maybe they're about to make a wrong turn or wrong decision. Wrong's not a word I like to use, but maybe, not helpful, or self, what's the word I'm looking for? Like self-destructive kind of thing. Or you might be doing the same. So that's again why Flamingo encourages you to take a really balanced look at things, and don't just run out there willy-nilly and be like, I'm fabulous, here I am. Don't do that. Unless you're ready and you've, almost like a chess game, you've looked at all of the possible moves from others, moves with yourself, and that's the move that's going to be best for you. So I hope this has been helpful. You know what? Think pink all day long, y'all. Think pink always, but think pink all day long. Pick up your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can get all the first minute notices in your inbox. You could be the first to see I hope it's a good way to start off your day. And everything said, what's most important as we balance on one leg and show our pink? Stay wild.